This is the Courtyard Theatre, the Royal Shakespeare Company's newest theatre. It was opened in 2006 to provide a main stage for the RSC while the Royal Shakespeare Theatre is transformed. But the Courtyard Theatre is also a laboratory where the designers of the new RST can test some new ideas before including them in the new theatre's plans. The RSC needs its lighting infrastructure to be as flexible as possible to cope with the artistic rigors of the repertoire season. Moving lights, which can be focused remotely, have become the industry standard. In the Courtyard's thrust format, the lighting rig is based on a traditional system of bridges and catwalks. Moving lights have to be rigged under the bridge, and this presents problems for the lighting teams. This is lighting technician Lauren Watson.
Even though there are traps at the bottom of the bridge, I have to dress up in a harness and hard hat and lie flat on my front and stretch to try and change the bulb. Sometimes I have to get up the cherry picker to change the lamp, which can take up to 20 minutes.
So, why not rig the moving lights on lightweight portable structures which can be lowered to the floor? Wouldn't that be safer? Here's Vince Herbert, the RSC head of lighting.
Right at the very start of the design process, we decided to entirely base the lighting infrastructure around health and safety. With the way moving lights were coming into the business, we believed that we could almost entirely eliminate the need for ladders, taller scopes, cherry pickers, bridges, and maybe even PPE. We discussed a system of very lightweight modular truss, each part of which could be raised or lowered independently. I'm very grateful that Charcoal Blue are the consultants on this project. They were able to instantly see the advantages of a rig like this and help us take it one stage further.
The RSC started work to develop these structures and gave them the working title of lighting clusters. But there was still a problem. When a moving light is panned or tilted, it generates swing. In fact, the structure can swing for up to 10 minutes after the cue sequence is finished, which is why moving lights, until now, could only be hung from solid structures. Here's Vince again.
I knew it would swing, but I was very surprised as to how long it was swinging for. It made the thing almost totally useless. We had two options: abandon the project completely and install bridges, very much more expensive, or find some way to stop the swing. I started playing around with a few ideas and eventually came up with a prototype. Amazingly, it worked first time. We had set ourselves the goal of stopping the structure from swinging in half the normal time. We soon realized we could stop it from swinging in under 2 seconds.
After 3 years of research work, the Lightlock was developed.
That was Patrick Stewart in 2008 introducing the RSC Lightlock to the world. Soon after the film was made, the RSC Lightlock went on to win the Gold Plasa Award for innovation, the only gold award ever. So, what happened next? The RSC invited companies to bid for the license to produce the retail version of the RSC Lightlock. 6 companies from all over the world submitted their tenders. The Total Solutions Group, along with their sister company in the USA, Total Structures, were finally successful. They developed the design of the RSC Lightlock, and it evolved into its current and instantly recognizable shape, turning it from a boxy prototype to a sleekly designed unit with its own integral strength. They turned the RSC Lightlock itself into a rigging solution. The live music industry was the first to see the potential of the RSC Lightlock, as it enabled their lighting designers to fly moving lights on thin, lightweight lines. They found the ability to vary the height of moving lights to be extremely liberating, and they are still exploring new ways of using RSC Lightlock. Performers such as Rush, Bon Jovi and Lady Gaga are now using it in their stage shows. But who was the first person to ever use the RSC Lightlock in a show? Well, that accolade goes to Tim Owen of the RSC's lighting department.
We used the Lightlock on a new play called A Tender Thing at Northern Stage in Newcastle. The set design was based around 3 gauzes with projection on them, with the actors playing the scenes in between the gauzes, so it was very difficult to light them. Traditionally, we'd light a show like this with booms, but because of the narrow wings and the gap in between the gauzes, this wasn't possible to light the actors without actually physically lighting the gauzes. We decided to use moving lights and to use the Lightlock as a rigging device to stabilise the moving lights, to make them usable and to keep them stable during the show, so we didn't hit any of the gauzes.
After the Plasa Gold Award, the RSC Lightlock won Best Debuting Product Award at LDI 2009 and the Lighting Product of the Year Award from Live Design magazine. And of course, the RSC Lightlock will be integral to the lighting system of the newly designed Royal Shakespeare Theatre. But what next? The RSC Lightlock was created to eliminate any oscillation of a hanging structure that is generated internally. But what about movement from external forces, such as wind or vibration, that may cause the structure to swing from side to side? Well, that's where the RSC Swaylock comes in. Designed as a bolt-on device to the RSC Lightlock, the RSC Swaylock will be the next generation in the RSC Motion Lock stable. Let's see if Vince Herbert explains how it works.
Let me explain using this handy prop. We knew we could stop oscillation like this, but to stop swing like that, all we had to do was...
Stop! As there is a patent application pending, I'm afraid we can't tell you any more than that, but as they say, watch this space. The RSC Swaylock will be available very soon.